Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric digs into Sloan's missing plutocrat, late rent payment leads down suspicious trail. Days of Our Lives reveal that Sloan Peterson Brady will make a boob. That raises red flags for Eric Brady. Eric knows their plutocrat situation got especially tight back at Christmas, but he feels like effects are bouncing back now that he's getting further photography work. Still, DOL suckers can still anticipate an issue with the rent during the week of April 8th to 12th. It sounds like there'll be a problem with Sloan not having enough in her account, so it'll indeed beget some worries for Eric. Day spoilers say Sloan's late rent payment will lead to trouble since Eric will push for answers. The last thing Sloan needs is for Eric to start poking around her finances and asking indeed further questions about all the missing plutocrat over the last many months. Leo Stark isn't demanding as much as he used to, but he's still getting payments relatively frequently since he's holding a huge secret over Sloan's head. Still, she knows he could unmask the sap about Jude Brady being Nicole DiMera's stolen son, if Sloan doesn't keep Leo happy. Leo gave his word that he was an unholy trio with Sloan and Melinda Trask now, but there's no guarantee he'll keep his mouth shut without the proper incitement. Although Sloan will offer a bogus explanation for the late rent, will it be good enough for Eric? Could Eric start to suspect that Sloan has commodity to hide? Still, day spoilers say this could lead to him digging deeper, if other issues pop up where Eric just can't put his enterprises to rest. Eric might probe Sloan's bank statements and end up heading down a veritably suspicious trail. Whatever the case, Sloan's late rent will beget yet another challenge when it comes to keeping everything under wraps. Still, it could put Eric on the path to uncovering the blackmail and putting some mystification pieces together, if Sloan doesn't get a grip on this fast. Our day's prognostications allude that Sloan will start to spin out in the coming weeks, so stick with us for updates on all the fermentation that's headed her way. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Sloan's miscalculations will hang her despite her stylish sweats to move on, so bad news is brewing. Everett's horrifying hypnotherapy exposures, Chad's promise to Abigail. Days of Our Lives reveal that Chad DiMera will head to the cemetery and spend some time talking to Abigail DiMera's grave. Chad may admit he's furious about Clyde Weston's escape, but he might also promise to do whatever it takes to make sure justice is truly served. Over with Stephanie Johnson. Days spoilers say she'll entrust in Julie Williams about her complicated dilemma. Stephanie is floundering over all the recent exposures about Everett Lynch's history as Bobby Stein, but she still feels compassion for him and wants to show her support. It's a tricky situation, so Stephanie will drink Julie's advice. Other days say Everett will visit Marlena Evans' office and let her put him under hypnotism as planned. That'll lead to some shocking news washing up from Everett's history, so he may catch a regard of Wicked Bobby in action while he's in a reverie. There may indeed be some suggestions about Everett's nonage trauma and why he's blocked out all the recollections of his father. Whatever the case, Everett will see commodity during hypnotherapy that rattles him. Our DOL prognostications suggest this hypnotism session could also be the launch of Bobby resurfacing to inflict annihilation, so don't miss all the trouble ahead in this split personality story. At Sweet Bits, day spoilers say Johnny DiMera will make a surprising offer to Chanel DiMera, so look for him to help out with her redundant work in the kitchen. Of course, Johnny may not be all that helpful in the end since he'll get Chanel's mind concentrated on other effects, like the fact that they newlyweds who can't keep their hands off each other. As for Ava Vitale and Harris Michaels, they'll hang out in bed together all day and just enjoy each other's company. Harris and Ava will also make plans for a special date night alone at the bistro, so they'll really be on Pall 9. Days of Our Lives spoilers say this could be the calm ahead yet another storm, so stick with us for updates on all the chaos that's still to come in Salem. Steve makes a confession to Kayla, Nicole and Kristen fight and Eric confronts Sloan. Full list of what's ahead in Salem. Chanel and Johnny's honeymoon at the Horton cabin is intruded. Paulina gets some new information from Sarah before she snaps at Abe, and Brady and Alex bandy their connections with Teresa, while Con tries to charm Maggie some further. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the coming 2 weeks, April 1st to 5th spoilers. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, April 8th. John and Harris bandy the time he spent at Bayview. Steve has a concession to make to Kayla. Brady and Alex talk about their connections with Teresa. Constantine runs into Teresa, and they bandy an update on Alex. Maggie and Julie talk about the recent happenings involving Constantine. Constantine Days of Our Lives spoilers. Peacock Days of Our Lives. Paulina and Abe get themselves ready to face her radioactive iodine treatment. Chanel and Johnny head to the Horton cabin for their honeymoon. Clyde orders Ava to get her hands on commodity that has been hidden at the bistro. Trip and Wendy exercise in the domain. Kristen confronts EJ about Stefan's arrest after EJ has an argument with Holly. Affiliated links. Soap Spoilers new post announcements streamline Days appearances and going. Subscribe to Soap Spoilers newsletter. Further days into April. Days of Our Lives. Eric faces Sloan about being late with her rent. Xander is determined to find out who framed him and Sarah wants to help. Everett turns to Marlena when he needs help. Jada asks Stephanie if she has moping passions for Everett. Kristen gets into a fight with Nicole over her verbal attack on Holly. Eric and Sloan talk about Jude. Peacock Days of Our Lives. Holly and Tate get romantic with a fun and games together. Steve apologizes to Kayla. Constantine has some bad news for Maggie. Stephanie asks Everett about why he's not subscribing the divorce papers. Ava looks to Harris for some comfort as she worries about Clyde. Ava and Harris close moment. Peacock Days of Our Lives. Constantine turns up the charm for Maggie. Xander tells Chad he wants an disquisition into who framed him. Insulation is making Paulina edgy, and she snaps at Abe. Johnny and Chanel's honeymoon at the cabin receives an interruption. Where mystifications pullulate and secrets lurk in the murk, a shocking paragraph begins to unravel, exposing an involved web of dishonesty and conspiracy that threatens to upend the lives of its residers. As Eric Brady, a tenacious investigator with a nose for trouble, digs into Sloan's missing plutocrat, a late rent payment sets off a chain response of events that leads down a suspicious trail, leaving Salem's denizens reeling in its wake. The shocking paragraph commences with Eric Brady, a seasoned operative with a character for getting to the bottom of indeed the most perplexing cases, setting his sights on Sloan's missing plutocrat. As rumors curve and reservations mount, Eric delves deep into the riddle, determined to uncover the verity no matter where it may lead. Salem, a city where secrets are currency and alliances are forged in the gauntlet of conflict, becomes a battlefield where Eric must navigate an unfaithful geography of falsehoods and deception in order to break the case and bring the shamefaced party to justice. Meanwhile, amidst the chaos of Eric's disquisition, a late rent payment sets off alarm bells for Sloan, the enigmatic figure at the center of the riddle. As questions swirl and allegations fly, Sloan finds himself bogged in a web of dubitation and conspiracy, his every move scanned by Salem's eagle-eyed residers. Salem, a city where gossip spreads like campfire and reports hang in the balance, becomes a gauntlet where Sloan must fight to clear his name and prove his innocence before it's too late. As Eric delves deeper into the riddle of Sloan's missing plutocrat, he uncovers a series of suggestions that lead down a suspicious trail, leaving him to question everything he allowed. He knew about the case. From covert meetings to shadowy numbers lurking in the murk, Salem becomes a seedbed of conspiracy and treason as Eric races against time to uncover the verity and bring the shamefaced party to justice. Salem's residers find themselves drawn into the riddle, their lives intertwined in unanticipated ways as they grapple with the fallout of Eric's disquisition.